Hello everyone, Pastor Lon here, the Homestead and Pastor, my beautiful wife, Robbie Lynn. Hope everybody's doing well tonight, and I hope you've had a good week thus far. And I hope you have a good remainder of this week and a good weekend coming up. Welcome y'all to our next episode of Come Sit a Spell. I'm going to let my bride, as always, give you a weather update on what we're experiencing here in South Carolina tonight and what's in the forecast.
Well, low's going to be 56 tonight, 78 tomorrow.
On February.
Rain coming in.
Or in February.
Rain coming in.
Friday?
Tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday.
Yeah.
Rain coming in. High today, 78. And then Friday night, 34. And high Saturday, 55. So it goes from 78 to 55.
Yeah, and then
a little cool spell, and then back up next weekend.
Back up to 70s, close to 80 degrees the following week, next week.
What is that? I saw this little thing right here. There were actually 11 seasons. Winter, full spring, which is where we are now. Second winter, spring of deception. Third winter, mud season. Actual spring. Then summer, a false fall, a second summer, and an actual fall.
That's about the truth.
That's the truth, ain't it?
Yeah, that's the way it is now. But
11 seasons.
that man's got his
Playing around with the weather.
Yeah, playing around with the weather. But Gator, give many things went on since the last Come Sit a Spell. We'll get to that topic in a minute. Our topic is disturbing times, or what's really going on in this world and in this country today. But before we get to that, we sold 2 baby goats since the last Come Sit a Spell to
Hershey's, a little boy and girl.
Yeah, to our niece Jordan's co-worker and her husband Jesse's co-worker, husband and wife. They're friends.
She actually bought them and took them home. Her husband didn't know she had them. Because she said if I'd have asked, he'd have said no. So,
So anyway.
And then once he got them, he couldn't say no.
Yeah, so they got the goats this past weekend. And we had already just budded both of them. Mm-hmm. And then they brought them back.
They were still, they were 8 weeks old.
Yep.
Tuesday.
Yep.
So they were old enough to be weaned, but she is giving them a bottle because until they're like 20 pounds, they need either to be with their mom or a bottle, and she's giving them bottle, and they're eating their grain and hay. So they're doing good.
They brought them back today, so for us to trim, we trimmed the hooves for them and banded the male for them. So.
Yep. And Hershey, you should have heard her. She saw her babies.
Yeah, she did.
And they saw their mama.
And they was hollering like all get out. But anyway, got that done for them. And we're always glad to see young couples like that getting involved with animals. Where this, I think she said that the girl said her in-laws have
chickens and
guineas, and now they got goats.
I don't know how close she lives to them, but
I don't know either. But
she's talking about all kinds of stuff, building a jungle gym for them, and she's real excited.
Yeah, which is good. We like helping young couples like that because that's the way you're supposed to do. Pay it forward, and this day and time, it's good to see anybody getting involved with self-sufficiency. Speaking of self-sufficiency, tell them about how Hershey done today on the milk stand.
She is my smallest Nigerian I've had, I think.
Yep.
And she was a bottle baby because she had to be taken from her mama early, and I had to bottle feed her, so she was her growth was kind of stunning. She's tiny, but and I've never milked her because this is her second litter.
I think so.
Second freshening.
Yeah.
And the first one, she was like, her teats were little and just it wasn't worth even messing with. And this time, I wasn't going to milk her. I'd already told somebody I wasn't milking her because her teats were too small. But yesterday, we were out there with April and Bradley, and I looked, and since her babies are gone, she's bagged up real, because they hadn't been nursing. And I told Lana, I said, she looks pretty, that's pretty interesting there. I might give her a try on the sand. But I've touched her before, like when she's on the ground, just to, and she was freak out. Like she didn't want me touching her teeth. So I figured it was going to be a struggle like me and Little Bit had when we first milked her, but today I went out there to do something. I forgot. I heard some noises or something. Seems like, yeah, I heard a chicken squawking. I thought something was after it. Anyway, I went out there and I said, I'm going to try her, because me and Lon moved the milk stand in there yesterday afternoon. Yesterday afternoon? Yeah.
Tuesday.
Whatever. Anyway, so I went in there and I was messing around. And I got her up there, and I didn't even take a clean pail or anything. I was just going to put it in whatever just to try her out. And I got her and put her some grain in there and started on her, and she didn't even kick the first time. She just stood right there and let me milk her. I said, I can't believe this. I had to text Lon and tell him.
She sent me a picture of the milk that she had milked out of her.
I mean, she stood there like a champ. As long as I had food in there, she stood right there. And then after I did that, I was pushing my luck because I was almost out of grain, but I did get all 4 of her feet trimmed too.
Yeah.
Then I got Miss Stubborn up there, a little bit up there, and she's been milked before, and me and hers already went through all that, so she knew what was going on. She wanted to be a little bit stubborn, but I milked some of her. I didn't want to milk her too much because she's still nursing her baby, and then I got her feet done. On the last 2 feet, she laid down, so I had to do them with her laying down. So she's a stubborn one, but I did run out of grain with her too. So if I'd have had started sooner and got her, but I got her feet done. Now all I got to do is get Mamie's done and the little girl, which we don't have a name for yet, and I'll be through with their feet.
So now you got 2 milkers. 2
milkers.
Hershey and a little bit, so.
Which is a good thing, but if you need a break, it's a bad thing.
Yeah. Well, we have to.
I'm thinking about getting me just a small milk machine, just to, so in case we're not here, somebody can just, plug it up and go.
Milk.
But my niece, the one that we're talking about, Jordan, she has, when I had, she's milked a little bit for me, and she milked Rachel when we had her. So she knows, she's done it before. So if push come to shove, she could help me out.
Yeah, Jordan can get it done.
Yeah.
And we told her.
There's just something about milking a goat. I don't know if it's like that with a cow, but it's just something about it. It's so, I don't know.
We told Jordan's friend and Jesse's friend today that when we started milking, they might want to come back when we show them, because they're going to probably bring their female back to our Billy over here. And maybe
he's not related to the little girl.
Maybe breed him to their goat they bought from us. So that's what's going on with the goats and stuff, and the sheep's still doing well. Most of y'all saw the video earlier this week on Valentine's Day, Tuesday, of Bradley and April, and we didn't talk a lot in that video. Robbie and I didn't. We just kind of wanted to show what was going on with them two. And I mentioned there at the end, about pure love and all, but I'm telling y'all, you got to stop and think about, neither one of them can see each other. With I thought about it today, all the sunshine out there Tuesday when we were out there with them, all the sounds of those guineas and the rest of the animals, the cows, the goats, and they heard or seen none of that. Neither one of them.
Nope.
But they were both just as happy as they could be. We could learn a lot from Bradley and April. They're shut up in a dark, quiet world, and seem to be happy and joyful. And some of us, and it's not a preaching session, but some of us, me included, we all take things for granted sometimes, and we should just learn from Bradley and April. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
She loves touching
animals
and feeling and hugging the animal. Now Bradley, he's not really a touchy-feely animal person.
He talks about them more than he wants to touch them.
He don't want them, getting on him. But she loves it.
No, she does.
She was just eating it up.
You can see that in the video. She had them all over.
Yeah, she had that goat all up in her face and stuff.
From dogs to cats to goats to whatever. But they really had a good day. Had a meal together, exchanged gifts. Y'all seen them out with the animals and had a time of fellowship and
play tic-tac-toe.
And just got to spend time together, and they don't get to do that often enough. But
she has a new sitter, and the lady's kin to her daddy, so she told us anytime that Bradley wanted to see April. She'd be glad to bring her out here.
So hopefully we're to get them
and
together.
she said she's going to start bringing her to church.
Yeah, so she wanted to know where our church was, going to start bringing her to church some on Sunday, so that'll be even better.
Yeah.
But these disturbing times we got going on today. And some of us you know more about than others, but it's
something fishy going on.
A lot going on. But at the same time, I'm going to mention a few things here, but I want to, from a spiritual standpoint, I ain't been long said a while back, and I've told our church congregation, yes, disturbing times. Yes, there's a lot of crookedness going on with the government, a lot of satanic worship going on, more hatred towards Christianity, Christians and Jesus and all that. But we got to remember that God's still in control and prophecy being fulfilled. He said it'd be like this. But some of the things I wanted to mention is like the train derailment. You actually read up on that a little more than I did. If it's on the news, I don't hardly ever see it. But 3 derailments in, how many days? 2?
The first one was, the second 2 was 10 days after the one in Ohio.
But
one
2 of them was in one day.
Yeah, I think, yeah. One was in Honor, how do you say that?
One was in South Carolina. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Enoree.
Enoree or something like that. South Carolina here. One was in Texas. And one was in Ohio.
Yeah.
And
the one in Ohio was very bad.
Yeah, with all kind of toxic chemicals, and it's just hard for me to understand and believe that 3 different trains like that just all of a sudden derailed with that kind of
all these people were
toxic stuff on
and
them
they chose to burn it off or something so it wouldn't explode, and so it went up into the air and stuff. And I heard there was a lady talking about it on the Glenn Beck's YouTube channel, and she lives there, and she said she had, I don't know if she had a business where she had dogs, or she had a bunch of dogs to get out of there, and her neighbors had horses and she had horses, and they had to get them out of there. And she said they were spooked because there was so much. She said it was like a war zone disaster, just terrible, because they had to take the animals away from there and put them somewhere where they didn't have really a place that was meant to keep them. They had to keep them in like kennels, and they were just crowded, and it was terrible. And she said she had, I forgot how many acres, and a nice house, nice land and all, and she said it would probably worth nothing now. If anybody ever wanted to buy it, they probably, it would be worth nothing hardly now. She wouldn't get anything out of it.
So that's why we say disturbing times and what's really going on behind the scenes. I've come to the conclusion that in this country and around the world, they'll have distractions going on to keep your mind on one thing when something really, really bad's going on undercover.
Yeah, because I think they said, was it West Virginia? And what other state was going to be affected? Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm. With the drinking water and stuff? And
the river, I think it's going to it got in the river.
Yeah.
Killed fish, I don't know how many fish. It was just, and the lady was on the talk show, and she said they hadn't got that much rain, so right now it's not in the water table.
Yeah.
Once it rains and all that stuff goes into the water, they'll be having problems for years to come.
That's
probably
true.
With that.
But like I said, people call you conspiracy theorists, but when things keep coming true that you keep talking about, it's reality.
When it comes to the G, you know what I'm talking about? I wouldn't put nothing past them.
Yeah, I done said the name, but the little G. Don't know what she's talking about. The powers that should not be.
That want to be.
Yeah.
But
you got train derailments. You got mysterious spy balloons flying all over America, and I'm telling you, all that's. I believe all that's a distraction. You can believe what you want to believe about it. Some people believe it's spy balloons. Some people believe it's not.
Some people say it wasn't even real. It was just a hoax.
Yeah, I don't believe that. But there's something going on, and we are living in a disturbing time. Like I said, the worship of Satan at the Grammy Awards, we mentioned that I think last week. But then during the Super Bowl this past Sunday, they had a couple commercials about Jesus, and it's a small amount of people.
They're getting a lot of flack about it.
Yeah, they're catching a lot of flack about that. But I was surprised. I did watch a little clip today from Fox News, and the whole panel that was on there said, "This world, this world and this country does need Jesus."
One of them was ex-football player, wasn't
I can't remember. I think he was. But anyway, he's talking about raising his sons.
He chose to raise his two boys and tell them about God.
So, but what I'm saying, they praise that on the Grammys, that evilness that went on. But when they have a Jesus commercial during the Super Bowl, then those same people get all bent out of shape. But hey, too bad.
They don't want to play fair. I mean, if you want to do what you want to do, then let us do what we want to do.
Right, and if you don't believe in Jesus, don't believe in God, then it shouldn't offend you.
Turn it off or turn the channel. We have to turn the channel when you're doing your satanic stuff.
That's right. We have to endure the garbage that the evil side's trying to put out there. So hey,
I mean, how many movies do we start watching and then we have to turn it or turn it off because it has
either
something
vulgar language or cussing or vulgar language
or something.
Yeah,
ruin a whole movie that could be fine except for a few scenes. You have to turn it off.
You find out when you go places with people like that to watch that, and you find out right quick why you don't watch TV anymore now. It's just garbage. Most of it's just garbage. But it's just like Ben and Denise go over. I might try to share a link to their video about the regulation they're trying to get in place about the sale of livestock or poultry from state to state.
He said it was
supposedly
was it chickens or all poultry? Ducks, turkeys?
I think all poultry, but trying to control the avian flu or whatever. But that's just another form of overreach from the little G. It's about control.
Same way with the chicken food.
Yep. All that stuff that went on with the chicken.
They found out was all that stuff was in there. I knew.
Yep.
Something was up because my chickens have never just not given me any eggs all this length of time. And I still only get like one a day.
Yep.
I'm wondering if they put something in there that affected their whole system.
But a lot of people don't believe in that stuff, but I do. I don't trust the little G no further than I can throw them.
I've seen where some people, instead of feeding them chicken food, they feed them goat.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's just a lot of stuff going on, but I believe a lot of it's a distraction from what's really going on. And I know some of the guys I work with, they may watch this. Some of them do watch these videos. And a lot of them say I'm way out there, but you can call me what you want to. But I don't know. I'm always on guard, and I know what the government done to Jesus when he was on this earth. So hey, what makes us any different than that?
I don't trust them, and I don't trust the medical field.
No, not a bit. So just keep your head up. Be vigilant, keep your head on a swivel, and be looking around in all directions, because we are living in some disturbing times. Don't live in fear, but live vigilant and keep your eyes peeled at all times. And don't believe everything you see, because everything you see, especially on the TV, everything you see on there is not what it appears to be.
No, if you don't have the right news channel.
No. So just be careful with that. Just like the shooting in Michigan this week, you know. I've said it before, I'll say it again. We got a heart problem in this country. People need to get their hearts right. And that's what's wrong with America today and around the world today. They've gotten so far. I watched a video today, I believe it was a statistic. It's talking about right at 50% of homes in America or families in America feel the need to attend church or teaching their kids anything about Jesus Christ in the Bible today. About at 50%, almost half. And that's sad. That's why you got the problems you got in this country today. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. You know, you got all this stuff going on. You've kicked God and Jesus out of everything, and now you having to suffer the consequences. And it is not going to get any better according to the Bible. It's just reality. It's where we are. You know, people need to get their heads out the sand and pay attention to what's going on. disturbing times, to say the least, even though God's still on the throne. And as Brother Johnny Suggs would say, hey, in the end, for the believer, everything's going to be all right. But we're having to endure right now, and the Bible said we would have to endure these times we're going through.
On a brighter note, we did get a butcher date for a cow.
Well, brighter for us, not brighter for her.
Well, it's bright. Well, the alternative was she's going to get strangled by you.
Yeah, I know. We got a cow out there that we've had, I don't know how long we've had her now, but anyway, she's one of those that was never real friendly, and every time I go out to feed her, she gets a little bit braver. And had I not had the wheelbarrow with me the other day, I believe I don't know if she'd have run me completely over, but she wasn't going to stop. And I rammed her with that wheelbarrow. And, but anyway, I called the butcher and got a butcher date set up. He was able to get me in April. Plus, I got two other, my brother and a pastor friend of mine that's maybe going to go in with us on that to help with the cost and split some of the meat with them, because we don't have enough room to put all the meat for that cow. That's a big one. She's probably 1,000 to 1,200 pounds.
We're going to make a guess on that. I'm saying 1,000 or under. You say 1,000 above?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she's over 1,000.
Well, when I'm out there, in the truck or riding along, she might look 1,000 or under. But when you out there and she come charging you ain't got nothing but a wheelbarrow, she look like she's 1,200 or 1,400 pounds.
I'm not gonna get in there with her.
But I'm not scared of her. But
I'd
use common sense, And
you better be scared of her.
I can't stop a raging cow like that. And I'm telling you, she's gotten braver and braver each time. Told somebody the other day, if I don't soon find a date to get her butchered, I'm going to just have to make compost out of her, because I ain't putting up with that. I ain't feeding that. Going to run me over.
Because we were putting that bale of hay in there today, and he was on the tractor, and I was on the ground. I had to open the gate. She started coming around that tractor. I got up on that tractor.
Yeah.
But her sister, I guess it's her sister, she's skittish, but she don't come at you.
No, she never tries to charge you.
She'll go away from you.
Yep.
I thought I had a picture on here that would show us how old she is.
Again, this is fired around there. Hey, I know what else meant to mention to y'all. Last week we mentioned y'all about a predator. We had a possible predator. Hadn't seen any more signs of any feathers. We've been locking the chickens up at night, which the last couple of nights we hadn't. Need to go out and lock them up at night. We hadn't seen any more feathers and hadn't seen anything, of a predator anywhere from the air on the ground. So, I don't know. Maybe Sadie and them ran it off or something, but hadn't seen any sign of the predator lately. And I hope we don't.
No, and that turkey, she's always roosting outside, so
yeah.
Either they don't like turkey or.
But anyway, y'all let us know what y'all got going on. How's your week been going since last time we sat together here on Come Sit a Spell? Just know that
keep your eyes peeled.
Keep your eyes peeled, and the little G does not have our best interests at heart. I promise you. Always know that. I mean, with what we've been through in the last 2.5, 3 years, ought to prove that to everybody. And you got another election year coming up next year, so you're gonna see all kinds of red flags, I'm afraid. So keep your eyes peeled. Like I said, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Share with us what you think about some of the things we mentioned about the disturbing times. About disturbing corgi. But we appreciate you all. Be praying for y'all. Y'all be praying for us. So until next time, YouTube family, remember, Jesus Christ loves you.
And Jesus Christ is the answer for any and everything you're going through in life.
Amen. Hope you have a wonderful weekend, and Lord willing, we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.